health and a little wealth and a lot of love.
But today is not a health episode. It's a wealth episode.
That's why I'm dressed like this.
You're looking very, very dapper, very handsome. In your suit. We're going to be talking about the debt trap.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not knowing these six things can hurt you.
Mm-hmm. They can.
So you're going to tell us more about that. But first, we're going to dig a little deeper in our first segment called Under the Microscope. Under the Microscope. In this segment, we take a deep dive into medical studies
and financial reports and break them down in layman's terms.
So I was telling Emily this earlier. I guess I always start with history on things. So I'm not a history buff at all, but I do think it makes sense to understand where things start from, originated, prior to, things like that. So I definitely want to give the history around debt. So in credit and all of this. So it first started in Mesopotamia. I probably butchered that. But I learned about Mesopotamia in 6th grade. I think one of my favorite teachers, Miss Bird, first I thought she was the hottest thing. She had this dark black hair, these red lips, the like pale skin. She's like Snow White. Oh, that's not important.
Were you learning
I was
history?
I was learning all kinds of things. But I remember we're talking about Mesopotamia. I think we had to do like clay stuff or whatever. But the reason why I bring up clay, so folks who are listening actually will probably remember this. They use clay tokens to represent goods and services that they owe. So you know about Mesopotamia, I believe it's in Egypt, around that area. Mm-hmm. I'm not a history or geographic person. So if I said that wrong, drop me a comment. Put me in my place. You guys love doing that. Anyway, so they use these clay tokens to represent goods and services, and then as history's evolved. During the medieval time, there was a huge trade boom in Europe. And so that's when the banking institutions were created. And then after the banking institutions were created, there was the Industrial Revolution, which we're all well aware of, right? And that had an increased demand for credit. And what's interesting about history is a lot of things are usually applied to businesses, like business to business, or B2B is what we call it in the business world. And then there's an undercurrent, underwave in the 20th century, which created the idea of consumer debt. Think about consumer debt like your auto loan, your home loan, your credit card. And so I wanted to give some history about how that works. Why is it relevant? Well, I think it's just fun. So it's really not that relevant, but it shows you how far back credit and debt and all of this kind of goes, right? And so looking at some stats from America, we are doing pretty well with our credit. This is surprising. To me, this was really surprising.
Yeah.
So the average household have a 718 credit score.
That is very surprising to me.
Yeah, that was surprising to me. The average credit card debt has increased pretty significantly. I think it was like $5,500. Now it's $6,600 and some change. I can read the board. It's 6,652. And guys, we always do research prior to, because we don't want to spit things that we don't know. And the consumer debt has increased over the years. So the average household has $103,000 of debt. I want to know where these households are, because I have way more than that. We have way more than that. But that's what the statistics say. So that's some fun facts about Under the Microscope.
With a little health and a little wealth and a lot of love. That's a life that we live. Suits and scrubs.